Hello. We're going to be kicking off in just a minute here. Thanks for dropping in. Just getting set up this morning. Going to do some new character creation. I don't know how wise this is. Probably the last thing I need is another character to build on. Yet, here we are. All right. Good morning. My name's Hayden Schmidt. I'd appreciate anybody who comes across this stream throwing me a follow. I'm really enjoying the streaming thing. I'm very new to it. Couple of weeks. So, if that. So, constructive criticism, always useful. Trying to keep an eye on what my audio quality is like, how the video quality is like. I know my stream is going out through a relatively low bandwidth connection because I live out in the county. So if you happen to come across it and the quality is too poor for you to bear, please do consider coming back and taking a look a little later when you might be able to watch it after the video has been processed and not have so much trouble with the quality of the stream. As I was saying, I've decided to start up a new character, and I have an idea where I want to take this character as far as the build is concerned. I don't really want to reveal too much of my thought about that because, thinking about that kind of thing evolves so rapidly when you actually get into play. I don't know exactly if I'm going to end up where I think I'm going to end up now. So what we're going to do is just kind of go through the process of bringing a character to life, running them through some of those starter scenes and starter adventures, and give someone who might be looking for an initial look at the game, who just wants to see what that whole process goes like and looks like and feels like, give them a little bit of an opportunity to see some of that. So it'll be kind of episodic, some of these, and I'll probably name the episodes after the character's name, whatever that turns out to be. I've got some ideas about that too, but we're going to go through that process here in just a second. So if you'll let me kick over to live screen here, we'll go ahead and get started. So this will be select avatar first, and notice I've got an empty slot here, so we'll be starting from ground zero. So I know the last name of the character because she will be a member of founding family. And so let's see, I think that name will work out just fine. I think I want to try a different hairstyle on this person. So let's put here. Hair color is good. I think that style will be a little better, but let me go ahead and flip through the other options here. Not mohawky or baldy. Yep, I think those braids are going to be the ones that I'm going to stick with. Let me take a look at Ponytail real quick and see whether or not, how I feel about that. Ponytail is doable, but I think I'm going to go with braids. All right, continuing. Get an option to pick eye color. And I guess to be fair, we should go back and take a hard look. I'm satisfied with skin tone here on this character, so I'm going to I'll leave the skin tone just like that, and so I kind of skipped past skin tone. Character size, I did not adjust, but I should have, because this character is going to be as petite as possible. So the smallest character I can create. Let me check another skin tone and see which one I may like a little better even. I know I am trying to achieve a certain level of contrast for facial features and still get a character that has a darker skin tone than the rest of my characters, just for contrast's sake. She is going to be female, so I think I'm happy with all of those choices there. Let's take a... Yeah, I like hair color black better than any of the others, but there's blonde. We'll hop through so you guys can see what the different colors would look like on this particular hairstyle. And I'm just kind of swapping through. You know, I am sorely tempted for a fire mage to go with red hair. What do you think about that? Should I do that? I think I am. She's going to do the fire mage, so red hair. Eye color. I like an eye color that semi-matches the hair. That looks even a little darker, kind of that looks a little more fiery. I think I'm going to go with the lighter color. Facial structure. I'm pretty pleased with most of those appearances. I'll tell you what I'm going to do, though, just in order to make her look not exactly like anyone else. I'm going to give her just some differences generally. Oh, I see. Okay, so I like the lower, more open eye. I don't like them so far apart. I don't like them so close together. I would say that has a very natural kind of look and feel for spacing. Size. I understand big eyes better than small eyes. How wide are the eyes? I like the wide eye. Tilt, 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 tilt. I'm not seeing a huge amount of tilt to those eyes, but I like a little bit of kind of, yeah, that seems okay. Bulgy eyes? No. Sunken eyes? No. Middle eyes? Maybe. Let's look and see what we get here. There's bulgy eyes. There's sunken eyes. There's those eyes look like they belong in the head right about there to me. And then I like the big irises because you get more color, you get more visuality that way. I like her look. Seems nice to me. Next, let's go on to the next stage. Nose width. A little wider nose. I like the look and shape of the nose, I think, in general, other than that. I'm not looking to get real wide or real narrow on the bridge of the nose. Length. No. Oh, that's kind of cute. Let's see. I don't want to get too buttonish, but tip protrusion. Let's see what she gets here. Okay, so that's kind of a... I mean, I don't need her to look like a boxer. That nose shape looks nice. Hip position. Let's see if I can detect something here. Oh yes, up, down, up, down, up, down. Okay, so let's just leave the nose tip pointing normally. Nostril width. There's a lot of variables here, as you can see. So, not seeing a huge difference in nostril width. So I'm going to leave that, she can breathe. Exterior width, wide, narrow. I'll go a little wider. That looks still quite all right. Height. I'm not getting a big deal there. Brow protrusion. Not looking for her to have a real bulgy forehead. Let's turn that to the side so we can see what we're getting. Bulgy, less bulgy, bulgy, sunken. I want her to have a prominent brow ridge. She is, after all, a hominid. Brow position. Let's see. Cinnamon. Slutter always looks surprised. She always looks a little surprised. No, not quite that surprised. A little less surprised. All right. Brow roundness. Round. No caterpillar brows for the girls, so we're going to go minimal on the brownness. On the roundness, rather. Cheek position. No cheekbone, all cheekbone. There they are. I like them right about there. Fullness. Round. There you go. I like a little bit of a square jaw. I don't know that I'm going to go quite that round. Let's just go slightly prominent. Like that. Cheekbone size. Size. Way wide. Not so wide. I don't want her to bulge too much or look weird. That looks okay. Mouth. Up. Down. I like a little more up. A little bit of a poutier look. Width. Narrow. Let's try that again. Wide, narrow, wide, narrow. I'm favoring a little towards the narrower side. Upper lip thickness. I like a full upper lip. Bottom lip thickness. Not quite that full. Not quite that sunken. That looks good. Philtrum width. Wide philtrum, narrow philtrum, wide philtrum, narrow philtrum. Can barely tell a change in the philtrum, so I'm just going to leave it in the middle. Under overbite. I don't like an under or overbite too particularly much, so I'm not going to go under or overbite. I'm going to go middle bite, normal bite. We'll go on to the next jaw structure. Let's see. Roundness of the jaw plane. I'm not really trying to duplicate anybody with a particularly round jaw plane or anybody at all. I'm just going with something that's going to be a satisfying look. Corner roundness. Okay, that's back of the jaw. And I'm thinking less round back of the jaw. So let's pull that up a little bit because I don't like men's. Protrusion. I'm wanting to pull that in a little. Okay, that looks natural shape. Chin protrusion. I don't. No sunken chin, no protruding chin. Chin width. Not that wide. That looks like a completely workable face to me. Not going to have anybody that looks exactly like that. My guess, because few people are going to fiddle with anything that terribly long. So, let's go ahead and finish her off. New character, Alyssa Rouveil. I'm going to choose to finish. My last chance to change anything about her, but it is done. So it has been so long since I've done this. This is just going to be kind of stream of consciousness play, and y'all looking over my shoulder to be able to see what's going on. I'm going to turn on the desktop sound to record so we can see how that streams. And see what that volume is like for you guys. I'm interested to see if there's any echo. So if you're getting an echo, you know, a double sound because I'm streaming the audio from the computer, let me know, please. And I'll try to take a glance at the text every once in a while and make sure I'm keeping up with chat. So, first tasks. I guess I'm going to pull up. I'm running a little supplement bar that's going to be something that you don't see. And so I want to see if I can't turn that off. I'm going to turn off the harvest stats. And then I'm going to turn off that that tool is called Ocx Tools. And Ocx Tools is something we can talk about a little later. But I don't think we need to go into right this second, at least not this point in character creation. You know, it's something you're going to be interested in keeping track of some more advanced statistics for your character a little later on. So current tasks are shown here. Click on a task to learn more. I'm going to dismiss that. First task is rotate my camera, and it says hold down your right mouse button to enter free look camera mode. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to look around. Pretty world. I'm coming in through what was a Moongate location it would look like in the old game. And my second task here is to move with W, A, S, and D keys. So let's go ahead and move forward. This place isn't safe. Look for a way to escape. It says welcome to Solace Bridge on the sign. Notice if I hover here, I can new player handbook. I'm going to go ahead and pop my inventory. I'm going to put that new player handbook into my inventory. And we can take a look at this a little later on and see what information they give us. Let's glance through it at least. So I'm just going to flip the pages on it. I think that's probably a better way than skipping. I'm lying. Introduction. Yeah, that's all I figured. And then game modes. It talks about game modes a little bit. Also, getting around, exploring the world sections, equipping your avatar. Some starting information there, understanding your skills, the user interface, which I'll take a look at here in just a second. Tips for new players, right? Resurrection markers. Hopefully we won't get too much experience with those too soon, but I'm sure we'll meet a resurrection marker at some point here. Tells you a little bit about your inventory list, a little bit about control points. Then it tells you about hospitalers and the Soda Wiki, which is a variable usefulness. If you go to Soda Wiki, you're going to get the very basic information on things. What I find is there's sometimes some links that I want it to have to other related topics that are missing. So if you find you can't get what you're needing off Soda Wiki quickly, just be a little more patient about the way you search. You can usually find what you need. Shroudoftheavatar.com, player created resources and events, tells you it's still evolving, and indeed, it is evolving. New content is constantly being added, and skills are elevated or reduced kind of based on what players are doing in the game. So here's the appendix. It looks like it's got a quick list of the default control keys. We'll go through something real quick here that will show you where some other valuable things are as well before we even step forward here. Anyone can be a hospitaller. They are not a guild, nor do they recruit from guilds. So hospitalers are just helpful people in the game. If you're a truly new player, you see someone flying the hospitaller tag, That usually means they're trying to communicate that they are willing to talk to people and help them out. That is not always the case. Sometimes someone will have a hospitaller tag and they will be less polite than you would like them to be. Don't get your feelings hurt about that. You know, it's an MMORPG. We're warned when we log in that the game developers cannot be responsible for the online behavior of players, etc., etc. They do moderate that, and I find, generally speaking, people in this game are great. It's very uncommon to find somebody who's not helpful or who is rude in any way. But, you know, if it does happen, don't let that put you off entirely. There's still a PvP element to the game, and it's hard to feel like those people are being polite when, you know, feel like you're minding your own business, and somebody comes along and takes all your stuff. Just be aware of where you are. This is a voluntary PvP game. If you're in a PvP zone, then you're indicating, you're flying the flag that says, hey, I'm willing to be there. So, you know, people are generally great. At least here you have a choice when you want to be aggressive with other players, and that's a good thing. So, you know, enjoy that element of the game if you enjoy that element of the game. It closes up with a little more information bit. You know, you can get the player guide here. So let's at least start with a tour of the screen, I guess, before I wander off too far. I'm claiming this is a new player look at the game. I've got my name and my health bar up here. I have some options turned on that are going to show specific numbers. We'll go take a look at what options I have turned on and why my screen may look like this specifically. That's also true for my combat bar and my peace bar or utility bar down here. Those are appearing there for a reason because I have some settings set a particular way. The character paper doll is accessed by the C button, so pressing C will remove it, pressing C will return it. And then here you can see all of the items that you are wearing in your individual inventory slots for worn or equipped items. Right now, a starting character is coming in with leather chest armor, cloth legs, cloth gloves, cloth boots, a simple bow, and my guess is if I open my inventory by pushing the I key, I'm going to have a handful of arrows, which I do, and I'm going to have some starting gear. These are just equipped gears that I can use, equipped items that I can use gears in order to do the basic harvesting and production tasks that are needed in the game. Pardon me. I'm glad I've got a mute button on that mic. My sinuses are tearing it up. Notice everything's got a durability, so things in the game must be repaired. There's a lot of crafting in the game. The crafting gets complicated. Be aware that almost everything you come across in the game either has a use or is going to have a use in the very near future. So do consider saving everything that you can that you don't need to sell for money. Now, I don't know how much I'm going to actually duplicate that whole new player collecting, grinding, you know, getting money thing. You know, she's created as part of a family. The family has resources. If she needs money, it's there in the bank for her to go get. I'm not going to vow that I'm going to create her and play her in a way that is isolating her from the family funds, so to speak, from a role-playing point of view. So let me go ahead and cover that kind of my approach to role-play in the game. I'm not a super heavy role player, but I do kind of carry in the back of my head some justifications for what I'm doing with a character. So I generally have a little bit of a backstory in mind. I've been playing games for a long time. I've got the original Dungeons and Dragons books that came in the box set. I'm getting instructions on how to press the space bar to jump, and I just did that to get over this log here. And so I've been pen and paper gaming since about 1978. And I kind of, you know, accidentally build a backstory for my characters. And so to kind of give you what I'm thinking about the backstory for this character, my family here in Shroud of the Avatar is based roughly on an extension of the family that I played in a guild in Ultima Online. We were the Ruvail family. House Ruvail was the guild. And so I adopted that name when I came here, the last name, and indeed the characters that I played there, Damien Rouvail and Elizabeth Rouvail, I have named a vendor in front of my keep and a crafting merchant in front of my keep that my town governor was good enough to place for me. I have named them after my original Ultima Online characters, kind of carrying those names forward just for fun and digital provenance, as it were. And then in this version of the game, I have created Hayden Rouvail, spelled different, but my name is Hayden in real life, and so I just, being stupid. And then Suzanne Rouvail, my wife's name is Susan, and our daughter's name is Alyssa, and so the character that I have created here is Alyssa Rouvail. My wife and daughter would just laugh out loud at me, but, that's what wives and daughters are for, keeping husbands properly humble. Husbands and fathers need to know when they're overstepping their husbandly and fatherly bounds, and wives and daughters are excellent at that. And you will, I'm sure, at some point, if you keep up with the stream, meet over my shoulder both my wife, possibly my daughter. She is grown now and no longer lives with us, but that doesn't mean I don't see her from time to time. And any or perhaps all 6 of my dogs. So enough introduction for me and my philosophy. Let's return to the screen here. You've got a compass heading up the top. As you pick up quests, they're going to show up on that compass heading. So if I turn away right now, for instance, you can see I've got a little sparkly effect happening. I don't know if you can actually cover that very well on my compass. And as I turn to it and I'm facing the direction, that little sparkly is right there. Follow the path. Escape the Battle of Solace Bridge, which is also my instruction here. Follow the compass markers. Look for means to escape. Perform other tasks along the way. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and get my character out of the way here. And I think I'm going to go ahead and take myself out of the way here so that we can see a full screen. The logo in the upper right-hand corner is the logo, the in-game art that I created for House Rouvail. Color has always been green for the house, and I liked the lion rampant on that particular background, so that's what I'm using and why I'm running that logo there. I think I've got it in a spot where it's not going to be in anybody's way. So what do we got here? Some arrows. I'm going to go ahead and collect up what I can. I find that early in the game, especially, collecting everything you can collect is a good idea because everything has value. So again, I don't know if any of these are going to be collectible, but I'm going to try to get the corpses. All right, I've got an awoken zombie already up here. Let's take a shot at the zombie. Look at that, and down the zombie goes. I'm going to show you the skill tree after we kill this zombie. What you're watching is me gaining skills, that light bursting from me. And in the upper right-hand corner, you can see that just that one zombie has taken me up to a ranged combat of 14. And so let's take a look at the skill tree. Skill tree is opened by pressing the K button. And this will let me see 2 kinds of skills that I've got here. I've got adventuring skills, and I've got crafting skills. My crafting skills are all related to production and collection. Adventuring skills are all related to combat, magic, strategy, doing harm to things, or improving yourself. So in default, which is where we're going to start, each of these trees is set so that I can learn any of the skills. I apparently start with pole arms and ranged combat, light armor, heavy armor, bludgeon, blades. I don't have a shield, haven't put a shield in hand. So it's possible that when I pick up a shield, my shield will automatically go to 1 to open up that tree. All of my magics are, practically non-existent. Brand new character, tactics and strategy also practically non-existent. Notice down here is where I'm going to train my health and my strength. That's part of the tactics tree. Subterfuge is where I'm going to train my dexterity. Focus is where I'm going to both get more focus and train my intelligence. So those are the three base stats, that is to say strength and dexterity and intelligence. Those all train through these specific trees. Once I get some experience built up on this character, we will talk a little more about how we want to manipulate these trees and which skills we are training at a particular time in order to maximize our character's growth over time. I'm deliberately not engaging in that immediately so that we can get the overall new player experience through the first little bit of the game. And then we'll take a look at really putting the gas on for character development after we've had an opportunity to have some of the basic new character experience, play through some of the starting zones, and kind of see how skills evolve naturally without manipulating the tree first. So let's go on and see what else is happening here in the Battle of Solace Bridge. All right, I've apparently already collected that corpse. I sometimes tap the E key in order to collect things, and sometimes that happens a little too quickly. I hear faint crying from a nearby burning building. Now here, in the early stages, they're good enough to do things like give you glowing blue doors. I'm getting a little drink, sorry. In all stages, you will have what you're seeing over here on the left, where it's telling you what items need to be followed, what tasks need to be accomplished next. They just don't always highlight the tasks with color. So let's go ahead and take care of the obvious here. I'm going to go ahead and check these bodies and see if there's anything. Nothing to be collected off of those. In we go. There's a body on the floor. See if it has any clues. It does have a clue. I'm going to go ahead and collect that stuff up. I'm going to read that letter here in just a second. I just want to check the rest of this room out and make sure there's nothing going on in here that's crazy. There is not. And so I'm going to go ahead and pop my inventory. I'm going to click on that letter. I'm going to click on the, there we go. To whomever finds this, all the guards have been killed when the undead attacked our town. I am no fighter. I know I cannot hold them off. I sent Abigail ahead to Sultan while I look for Charlotte. I hope I can find her before the worst happens. Johann. Let's check out the rest of the house. I did hear crying from inside. It clearly wasn't coming from that person. Ah, here's another note. I have heard, so Sir Hobart, I have heard from many coming through the north that undead attacks upon merchant caravans have increased of late. Have your patrols noted any unusual behavior near Solace Bridge? I speak out of concern for my wife and child, whom I would not have put in harm's way. Johann. He's looking out for his family, and here he is dead under a beam on the floor in his house. Uh-oh. A child. So I'm going to cover my name. My understanding is you must communicate full names or you will be tagged as a liar. Liar! So I'm giving her my full name. Yes, Charlotte, I will help you. And so I'm just going to click on the yes. And my task is escape the Battle of Solace Bridge and rescue Charlotte. So let's go ahead and see if we can make our way out of the building. Charlotte should stick pretty close to me. Hello, Charlotte. Come on. She's not counting as a pet, so I don't want to. Come on with. Here we go. I'm not trying to run away without you. Nursing Charlotte out of the building. See if I can get her to come along now. Still not following along. Come on, out of the house. Will she teleport to me? Will she follow closely? Well, let's see if I can get her to appear next to me. Maybe if I get a certain distance away, she'll teleport in, like pets do. If not, I'm going to have to come back and get her and figure out how to get her to follow me. Collecting up what I can collect up. Taking out the zombies as the time comes to take out zombies. Looting the corpses, looting the zombies. At this early stage, you should just pick up what you can pick up. So I don't know, any of these things can be sold if you don't want to keep them. But I'm not in favor of leaving anything, certainly not this early. Any of those be picked up? No. Any of these things can be sold if you don't have a use for them. I can already see that I'm having some issues with my connection. And so I want you to, be patient and have a little mercy with regard to the connection speed. If we have any difficulties, again, feel free to come back and watch this later. This isn't anything that has to be watched live or anything like that. Just general tutorial. I'm having a hard time getting Charlotte to come out after me, but I'm also not willing to mess with her forever. So practice dummies and practice targets. Generally speaking, those are good things. They will be your friends. You can build a lot of skill with them easily and quickly. So as a quick demonstration of that, let me pull my skill tree up again. You can see I've got 25,000 experience points here. Not too many experience points. But if I want to do a little better with this bow right away, I can do a little bit of practice here. And you can see that I'm actually gaining some archery skill. And I'm slowly getting, I'm sorry, this is focus that I'm gaining here. Archery should be going up in leaps and bounds. There we go. Every arrow strike resulting in archery gain. Just getting better with the bow as I shoot. Probably the only thing you might want to be a little careful about stopping here and taking a long round of archery practice is you don't want to use all your experience points. Because then you won't have any to gain skills on anything else as you go around and explore in the super early stages. Let me rephrase that. You're left to acquire every experience point that you want to spend. We'll have a little conversation about how experience points seem to work later. With regard to spending them. But as you can see, Practice Dummy is your friend when you're looking to pick up some skills quickly, early. So I'm going to let her go ahead and shoot at this thing and for a little while, and I'm going to pop my inventory again. Let's take a look at how many arrows she's got. Okay, I've collected 490 arrows. I've got 322 starter arrows. You can see those green things are things I can't give to anybody else. So I'm just going to go ahead and let her finish out those starter arrows here, and then we'll go on a little deeper into the Battle of Solace Bridge. I'm surprised the dogs have been so good so far with the cleaning lady here. Generally, we get to listen to a little more barking than we've gotten so far. But, you know, hey, we can be at peace with the universe. I've got no complaints about that. I'm going to flip over as well and try something else that I just got for the stream, new. And that would be a little bit of a little background music player. So I'm going to take a look at trying to start some music for us. I'm going to put on just some kind of ambient background music. Well, I'll have to fiddle with the volume some. I don't want it to be too loud. We'll see how it goes. Although I've got to say, I think that's a little too ambient for me, so we're going to switch over to something a little less ambient. See how that goes. I'll make sure I keep an eye on my arrow count. Yep, just want to make sure I'm still using the newbie arrows. I've decided that generally in the background, I don't mind a little something along the lines of quiet electronic dance music, so that's what we're going to try for a little while, see how that sounds. But as you can see, skills are up, right? Things are happening. So overall, you know, it's new character experience. You can come in real quick, get started building some experience, get started with some skills. 40 is you know, generally considered like the bare floor for something that you're working on. You notice though that when I look away from things, I don't fire anymore. When I look back at them, now all of a sudden I'm firing. So you are a little directionally sensitive. If anybody hops in or has an opinion about the volume of the music, let me know. If it's too loud over me, if I'm okay. Also willing to take that feedback later. If you watch the stream, you can shoot me a message somewhere and let me know. That was just a test. I've got a greet bot. I'm wondering if it's working or not. If anybody happens to hop into the chat room, say hi, howdy, or something, test that thing out. I'd be interested in knowing how that goes. I'm feeling like the desktop audio is going to be a little loud, or the music's going to be a little loud, so I'm going to turn that down some. All right. Enough of this. I'm going to go ahead and take her away from the dummy and take her out of combat mode. She sheathes her bow, puts it on her back. All of a sudden, she's free to move again. See, I've already looted that dude. I may have already even picked up that shield, which is why it won't let me do that again. Though engulfed in flames, searching the tavern might yield useful items. I am inclined to agree. At least at this stage. Oh, look, Charlotte finally caught up with me. There's another zombie. Let's take care of him real quick. Make sure there's no others in here that are going to make trouble for Charlotte and I. Go ahead and search that corpse. Anything on it? Another map. Each of these crates, usually the crates that turn green are breakable. Right, if your cursor will hover over the crate, you can break it and get anything in it if there's anything in it. What's that? My dearest Regina, duty has kept us apart for too long. As I treat you in the past, my time at Solace Bridge comes ever closer to it, and soon we shall be together once more. I so look forward to spending the rest of my life with you. My heart is heavy with dread, for as I was writing down my thoughts to you, my beloved Solace Bridge has become under attack. I do not know who is attacking us at this time, but the alarm has rung, and I must leave the tavern and join my comrades in arms. I do not know if this letter will ever reach you, but know that my love for you is everlasting, and I will find scribble. So like in The Lord of the Rings, it devolves to unintelligible text. A necklace of civility. That is quite a useful artifact to find at this early stage of the game. So I am not only going to take that necklace of civility, but I'm going to open my character sheet and my inventory, and I am immediately going to put that on. All right, honey, that's my wife, who I told you you'd meet eventually over my shoulder, telling me she's going to meet her parents for lunch. So she's out of here. Bye, sweetheart. Love you. See you later. All right. Right, so we knew that was going to happen. I didn't actually have my camera up. Too bad. I would have liked for you to be able to meet her visually, but at least in an audio sense, you have met her. A necklace of civility goes on. Oh, I cannot while I am in combat. Got to drop out of combat. Z button brings you in and out of combat rapidly. And that indicator is also here on your sword. So if I Z, you notice my sword is now pulsing red in the middle of my combat bar. And that's why you can, one of the ways you can tell you're in combat. Also, if you've got settings right, your combat bar will appear. I have cleaning ladies in the house I may have mentioned, and they're vacuuming in the background right now. So I've got to apologize for any of that white noise you pick up. I've tried to use my audio filters to cut that kind of thing down. We'll just have to see whether or not it works in this case. I mentioned earlier that I was going to show you where I had set these options. So before we get too much farther in the game, let's take a look at our interface options and that kind of thing. So I'm going to go ahead and close that out of the way. If I go to options here for the game, a large variety of things can be controlled to customize the way you interact with and play Shroud of the Avatar. I am not a huge fan of the music in-game or any game. I generally mute music right away. I like hearing my special effects, my user interface. Usually I turn instruments down a bit. I don't know why that slid up so loud. I don't mind being able to hear the phonograph or radio if one's playing, so I keep those pretty much up. I like the footsteps. I don't mind the attack ticks. I do want to filter out all the music that everybody else is playing. As mentioned earlier, I keep my music turned down. Enable chat audio, I leave it on. I think it just gives you a few little beeps and clicks and warning sounds when you get chat messages and that kind of thing. Video options, this is entirely up to you and where you want to run, what kind of frame rate you expect. On my laptop, I get, 80 or 90 frames per second no matter what I do with the options. Over here, if I'm on my desktop, if I want to stay around 60 frames a second, I find these options work well for me. I'm not a huge fan of anti-aliasing. What it does for me visually versus what it does to the processor, to the graphics processor, just doesn't seem to be worth it to me. I'm not a fan of camera bloom, but you can see each of these can be controlled by you. You decide what you want to turn on and what you want to turn off for video. Controls also give you a large number of options for the way the controls will work. All of these are set from long experience playing, and so I'm not going to claim this is the best way. I'm just going to claim this is the best way for me right now. I may change those things. Max, my beagle in the background, is upset that I'm not paying attention to him. If you're hearing a dog cry, He's not actually in any physical pain. He just, his heart hurts because no one will play with him right now. Key bindings are what's next. What I want to say about key bindings is every time I want to go ask somebody what I need to do in order to do something in the game, I remember, or they will tell me, gee, I don't remember, but if you check your key bindings, you'll find the command. Yes, you will. And so please, save yourself some time. Save yourself the embarrassment I feel when someone tells me, just go look at the key bindings. It's got all your controls listed. Also, know you can customize here. Language stuff, not too incredibly complicated. I don't care to filter profanity. I'm a grown man. Interface options. This is where I've got some of the options turned on that are affecting my appearance. So I do have turned on show utility hotbar in combat, and show utility hotbar out of combat, and show combat hotbar out of combat. So essentially my bars stay looking like this all the time, no matter what I'm doing. There's no context sensitivity to these popping up or going down or doing anything crazy like that. I want to see them, I want to know what they are, and I want to do that all the time. That's, again, best for me, not necessarily best for you. I'm not trying to tell anybody how to play. I'm just encouraging you to play. So, on down, name plates and chat bubbles. This is going to be how other characters will appear to you on the screen. You can either show hints or not show hints or reset hints. I'm leaving hints on for the new character run for obvious reasons. Auto stack items and all of these other options, do go through each of them carefully, understand the meaning of them, choose the option that you want. If there's something in the game that is bothering you, an interface option or something along those lines that is irritating to you, you can generally find a way to control many of those things here. Not all of them. Just like all games, there are some nuances and subtleties that are just built in. You don't have to love it. You just have to live with it to play the game. So those we just learn to live with, if not love. Multiplayer settings. Do keep in mind that you need to occasionally adjust your matchmaking preferences based on whether you are in a party or you want to maximize your experience haul and are willing to run it with other people. Keep in mind also that if you're not seeing other people in the game and you're thinking you're the only person playing, that may well be because you're set to private and every instance you pop into is blocking other players from joining you in play. So, leave yourself open, at least early, if you want to see other people and get a feel for other people playing the game. Exit to menu is going to pull me out to the menu, which I don't want to do, and quit is going to quit me, which I also don't want to do. So we're going to call this the end of our quick tour of the options screens. So I'm going to pop that down. And we're going to take a brief pause here in just a second for the episodic nature that I would like to run these under. I don't know that I really want these new player episodes to run any longer than about an hour or so. And I'm coming up on that long right about now. This has been new character creation. It has been a look at some of the options in the game. It's been just a very early, very quick roll into the Battle of Solace Bridge. So there's a whole lot more here to do, and we're going to see a lot more of what there is to do here, but we're not going to see it all right now. So I'm going to cut you guys loose for a little while, and I'll be back on to stream another hour of new player with Alyssa a little later on. Thanks for watching.